are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na-na-na, na-na-na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
And supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. But I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can
come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KZAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, T-Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. And why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness, because there's no gossip here, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kanye talk at all, formerly or now, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Some of you will say, why not 100% of the time, Dr. Marissa? Don't you do everything to the gusto? And the answer is, well, if you're 100% happy, you're dead. And I don't want dead people watching or talking or sharing, because you have to have some contrast. You're not going to know if you're happy if you're never unhappy. And unhappiness is a part of life as well, just not most of the time, just some of the time, so that we can chisel ourselves, because pain in life is mandatory, but suffering is optional. And that has been my Happy 88 mission, to have 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And so delighted to have you here. I see we already have the captain of my cashew gallery in the chat. Her name is Sci-Fi Mombi. That's not really her name, but she has a show on YouTube as well. I have a surprise guest for you after my interview with Freddie Sordia. She's someone that I met. I just love when I get to do, and I'm going to do my gratitude breakfast with you right now. She is the Jamie Holcomb, the Holistic Hulk, and she came up to me when I was at the AAMDS March for Marrow. And we're going to do something I call taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So we're going to do this real quick, because we have Freddie's interview that we're going to put up. But what are some things that you're, one word, grateful for, that are outside of yourself? That's the top of the button. So you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. I'm grateful that I got to shoot the gun to start off the March for Marrow 2024 as the celebrity officiant. This is my third year. The first year I found them doing on-location reporting, and they loved me, and so have invited me back every year, which is great. And just watching people do great things who have lost. So Stephanie Ham lost her son to a blood disease, and her response was to be the chairperson to put this on every year for AAMDS. And so such a beautiful thing to witness. All right, that was more than one word, but go ahead, Jamie. What are you grateful for?
I think I'm extremely grateful for the yoga community in Long Beach, especially the Bluff, Dharma Shakti, and Yogalution has so many beautiful wellness events, and come any part of your wellness journey. And they constantly fill my cup as someone who gives a lot in the wellness space. So I think it's so important for wellness practitioners to have a place to fill their own cup and have their own practice, their own community that fills them up. So I'm extremely grateful for the Long Beach community, especially Yogalution and Yoga on the Bluff, which is your neighbor.
And you know what? We're just going to do it. I was going to wait to the end of the interview with Freddie, but since you're here and I'll let you go, let's just talk about it real quick now. And you explain what it is. I'll talk about what I'm going to do. That'll top off our gratitudes. How's that?
Go ahead.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm Jamie Holcomb, the Holistic Hulk, and I plan a yearly wellness festival that is just a whole day free for the community. I am all about as many people as possible finding their health and wellness journey wherever they're at. If they're a master at it, finding more or deeper, or haven't started and just have it on their to-do list or wish list to start taking care of themselves finally, because we've all been there in different phases of our lives. And it will be Saturday, May 11th at Rush Park in Rossmore, which is in Los Alamitos. And for those of you that don't know Los Alamitos, it's a hidden, beautiful gem between Long Beach, Cypress, Seal Beach. So really just Orange County area. And it's at a park that has beautiful trees, grass, flowers, and you just feel like you're in this kind of healing, safe space haven. And so it's the area I grew up in. So it's very special to me to be able to bring that back to the community I grew up in. So I hope you bring a friend, bring a family member, or just yourself to experience a stage full of donation-based yoga, Zumba. I'll be teaching Pilates. Our beautiful Dr. Marissa will be teaching her Tai Chi Qigong, and there'll be a vendor fair so that you can meet experts from around the entire area to get help on your journey, because they know so much and are ready to just share their gift and service to you. And there's also a Beyond Burnout ticketed event if you'd like to go deeper with breath work, cold plunge, with so many amazing practitioners. There's a free kids zone because it is Mother's Day weekend. So we want to make sure there's something for the kids to do. But really, over Mother's Day weekend, it's just to honor mothers in our area. But if you're not a mother or aren't coming with a mother figure, just bring yourself. We will take you in and nurture you for Mother's Day weekend. Oh, I don't think I hear the sound.
I've got an eager lawn care person downstairs, and I don't know how loud the buzz is, so I'm muting myself, which is not easy to do. But I'm so excited to be a part of that fabulous event. It's free, so y'all need to come and join me. You get free instruction, all different kinds of yoga. Dharma, my beloved, it's so funny. She has been with me for a long time. She used to have me on her retreats and teach the balanced Tai Chi Go. We actually co-produced an event on the beach. The pictures are amazing. Remind me to show you. And so I just love how life is really no degrees of separation, and everything happens for our best and divine good. So thank you, Jamie, for coming on for a little and announcing that. I wanted to make sure I got her on before I went to Canada, because I won't have time. I'll be flying back and right into that event. And I'm so delighted to met you. And did you get to Agape yesterday?
I did. It was absolutely amazing. And it was all about retreating into ourselves before we broadcast out. So a nice reminder to take care of ourselves before we give out, which seems like is your message as well. So honored for you to.
Did you get a chance to talk to my big brother?
I did. And I gave him the flyer and said, come take your little sister's Qigong class. And he was like, I shall. So we'll see. Hopefully Michael Beckwith is there.
Because I texted him to tell him you were coming, and I put the picture up. Did he recognize you?
Yeah, because I walked up, there was a line because he's fabulous.
Yeah.
And when I said, your little sister, Dr. Marissa, sent me, he was like, oh, yes, I knew I was waiting for you and my partner, Tim.
Yay. I love that.
It was absolutely amazing. So
that's so awesome. I'm glad. The connection was made. Yay. Well, that's wonderful. Thanks so much for stopping by. May 10th, I'm going to load the poster. So
May 11th, Saturday, May 11th.
Saturday, May 11th, Mother's Day weekend, my favorite weekend of the year. And you will see me and Jamie and a plethora of wellness-related events. So make sure you get there. If you want information, you go to
Instagram, @BeYourBest_Wellness Fest, or my personal page, Jamie Hulk, JAMIEHULK on Instagram, or you can email me, theholistichulk@gmail.com.
Can you do me a favor and put that in the private chat? I'll copy it and put it in the general chat.
Thank you.
Okay?
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. All right. That's it.
You're
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
So grateful for you.
Thanks for stopping by. Right. And now we didn't really finish off breakfast. Let's see if we have any top of the bun or bottom of the bun. Sci-fi is here. Bottom of the bun, what do I like about myself? And the reason why we do that is because the last thing you do before you go to bed, a lot of us do this, MS scrolling, which is, crazy making, because it usually is, if it leads, it bleeds, or it's the shock factor. And no wonder you can't go to sleep. So instead, I want you to think about things that you like about yourself. So what do you like about yourself? That's what I want you to go to sleep on. And I'll just say 8 quick adjectives, unless we get Sci-Fi Mombi to do that as well. I appreciate that I'm loving, caring, creative, funny, imperfectly perfect, optimistic, good singer, and a good innovator. There you go. That's what I want you to do, so that you stop beating yourself up, because the foundation to good mental health is self-care, self-love, self-soothing. All right. Yes, that is it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa this morning. And now I'm going to show you a wonderful interview. It's someone else that I met at my friend Dr. Greg Reid's, I think it's twice a year now. It's called Secret Knock. It's the event that you can't even get in unless you're invited. So, but if you go to secretknock.com, you will be able to see what I'm talking about. But I go there. I've been on his stage speaking, which is an honor. And then I meet super cool people. And the person that I met that we're going to talk with today, that I did on location interview there. His name is Freddie Sordia, and he is the senior broker at smartgold.com. His mission is simple: help good people save their retirement accounts and to financially prepare for the future. So that is the interview, and let's just jump right in there. And thanks to technology, hopefully we can. Let's see, which one is this one? Okay. There we go.
And this is Dr. Marissa reporting live in San Diego, broadcasting from Secret Knock. And one of the best things about being here is the really interesting people that I get to meet and interview on location. And we do not have an exception to the rule right now. Awesome. We have Freddie, and he's going to introduce himself one of my favorite ways, through my questioning machine. So, Freddie, when you call me, I don't have an answering machine.
Okay.
It's a questioning machine. And when you call, it says, who are you and what do you want? So, Freddie, who are you and what do you want?
Well, I am the senior broker for smartgold.com. What we want to do with our business and for our clients, the value that we bring is protecting their assets. In this economy, in this financial time, there's so much uncertainty, not just with the markets, but with digital currencies, Bitcoin. The financial landscape is getting riskier and riskier. So our mission is to help people protect what they absolutely cannot afford to lose.
Love it. And I think that one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on is because I'm one of those people that is completely confused as to I'll put the moose on the table, which I'm known for, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room, which is, I've heard Bank of America is going to move to digital currency so that there's no paper dollars. I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, I've heard that there is not going to be any actual paper. I know that there are a lot of retailers, a lot of restaurants, either they say cash only or they say no cash at all.
Right.
Okay. Then we've got the whole crypto craziness, I call it.
Yep.
Is that the future? Is it the past? Is it a con? Is it not? All of that is also up in the air. Everybody remembers what happened in 2008 and are afraid of that again. And I have a personal beef with banks, traditional FDIC banks, who I've just had personal experience taking money of mine to another bank, and they put a hold on my money that I bring in cash. Like, how the fork does that happen?
Okay.
As well as, cashier's checks, which are supposed to be as good as cash. And they put a hold on it, and they're allowed to do it. You don't have a choice. You get a little alert that says only partial amount is going to be available today, and the for business. I'm like, what? So sorry, I'm venting.
That's okay.
I usually don't, but since I have a money expert on, I want to just express that I'm sure I'm not the only one that has all of these things that are, troubling them.
Absolutely.
I also have family gold.
Okay.
So that is something that when I go to the We Buy Gold places, I think that it's going to command something good, and I get for like $20 or $30 for jewelry or something like that.
Right.
So I'm so glad that you're here. You're gonna relieve all of my confusion when it comes to money. How's that for pressure?
I will do my absolute very best. One of the things that we learned from Mr. Fensner here earlier this morning was to be remarkable. And to him, remarkable isn't perfect. It's just do your best 100%. So that's what I'm going to give you.
Great.
And we're going to unpack what you were talking about. You put a lot of things on the table there. So first, let's talk about the banking system.
Yeah.
Right? So what the banking system has all new rules that have been massaged into the system within the last 15 years. All of this has been starting, and it's been a long process, but it's whether it's a conspiracy theory.
Well, this is no, it's not your fault. And hey, like Greg says, be cool. This is an interview. It's on location, so we get the real life going.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let me make sure everybody heard that. So it's since 1971, there have been a series of events, whether they've been planned or whether they just happened. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this is where we're at now.
Good point.
And what I tell all my clients is we are all not affecting bank policy. We are all on the same roller coaster ride, whether it goes up, whether it goes down. So all you can do is hold on and be prepared as you possibly can. The banking system is fractionalized. What that means is if a bank nowadays brings in $1 and you deposit $1 in the bank, they're allowed to lend $1,000 for every dollar or $100 for every dollar, because every time they give out loans, it's considered a river of cash coming to the bank. It's an asset for the bank. Our car loans, our mortgages are our liabilities, but they're the bank's cash flowing assets.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So they're allowed to do that. Now, if you open your banking app on almost every single one, right? And at the very bottom, there's disclosures all of a sudden. Last year. And you go past the disclosures, but it says whether you buy insurance products, stock derivatives, deposits, you are an unsecured creditor of the bank. So when you hand over money to the bank, It's no longer your money. It's their money that they get to choose what to do with it. Why is that important? Because now if it becomes their money, it also becomes their collateral. So they can go and get money from the federal funds, Federal Reserve. They can go and use that to collateralize any investment on the bank's behalf that they want to. Now, because the bank is considered an intermediary is a company, and some companies are guaranteed not to fail. There's a great documentary called The Great Taking. I want to recommend it to everyone. It's on YouTube. It's completely free. It's about an hour and 11 minutes long. Credit goes to David Webb. He is the man that put it together.
Okay.
And it will
Blow yourself.
it'll illuminate. Even if you don't understand it, give me a call and we'll walk through it, because there's things in there. The Universal Commercial Code, the UCC code, that gets held up in the courts. Since 1994, they've been working to change that. So now there's levels. There's like 7 or 8 different levels of security. At the top are the big banks. There's all these different levels. And at the very bottom, there's you and me, the customers. So if they go belly up like they did, like AIG, Washington Mutual, Countrywide, if these companies go belly up, they get to retain whatever money that's left to help them out of their situation and wipe out our accounts.
What?
Yes. And you talk.
Is that with FDIC?
You brought something else up. In September of last year, was it September or October of last year? And this is on the FDIC website itself. The FDIC put a
disclosure.
Well, they had a meeting. It was a board meeting, and they're televised public meetings, and it's on their website. And it says, the question comes up. It's almost a 2-hour meeting, but the question comes up. Well, how do we tell people when the currency is going to reset? And one of the gentlemen says something like, well, we don't. We're an insurance company. Does Geico tell you what they're doing with their car insurance money? No, they just need to be there when you have a crash. So we don't need to tell them anything. Another man pipes up and he says, ho, ho, ho. We're not Geico. We're the FDIC. More real life
We'll
happening,
take a
people.
pause.
Sorry.
I'll do a station ID. How's that?
Yeah.
If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on, there's a truck backing up right now in front of Secret Knock as they set up for tonight's gala, and you're going to see all the footage from that. Probably you already saw it before this interview. This is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA. NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, the station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,030 plus podcast shows, as well as my red carpet playlist with interviews with people like Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, and more. So you are tuned in here. So glad you're here. And today, I am so delighted to be learning about money from, I'm going to start calling you Mr. Money. His name is Freddie Sordia.
You're right.
And I met him at Secret Knock, and he's doing a great job illuminating my BS, my belief systems about money. So FDIC.
Just like every other app on the face of the right. So they're gonna do this whole disclaimer dump, and they're just gonna give us everything. And they said, okay, well, let's talk about how we're gonna execute it. It's gonna happen Friday after the banks close, and by Monday morning, the currency is gonna be reset.
Now, what does that mean? currency is going to be reset?
It means that they're planning on running out of dollars, resetting the currency, and they may do it in conjunction with the CBDC, the central bank's digital currency, or they may not. So there's these threats to the American dollar. I mean, number one, the inflation has been crazy. Every time you put more money into a system, it naturally drops the value. You got the central bank digital currency that's getting ready to be rolled out, and everybody thinks it's brand new. It's not. India did it in 2016 or 2015. England just decided to do it last year or this year. And so all of these countries are getting changed to digital currency, and the currency might just change to BRICS. Britain, Russia, or excuse me, Brazil, Russia, India, China. They're the BRIC nations. They've got this laundry list of other nations that want to use their currency. So the dollar may lose its status as the world reserve currency. They've been having, and so these are real things.
Yeah.
Add to that all the things we already talked about being an intermediary, about the rules changing, and the fact that the FDIC said they only had 1.17% of their funds to cover all of the deposits in the American system.
Well, so your money that you put in there, I put 100,000 in there. You're saying that if things went down, they would only be able to replace, even though I have FDIC insurances, they would only be able to give me back 1 point whatever percent of that 100,000.
That'd be awesome if they could do that. That's not what they can do. It already happened earlier this year or last year when the SVB Bank here in California went down. It raided that entire fund. And the FDIC had to send out letters to the biggest banks, Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase, and they said, you need to help us fix this or the entire banking system is going to be in trouble. And they did.
Because it was going to be in trouble.
Because it's either they keep making
scary.
loans or they don't.
That's scary.
So the pattern, right? The clues are all there, right? Dr. Greg Reid says CPC, clues, patterns, choices. So my job is really just put all the clues, give you the clues, show you the pattern, and then make your choice on what it is that you need to do for you and your family.
Okay, so I'll give you my example. I have savings, not a lot. I had a very expensive divorce, and the judge said, well, you wanted equal rights, so I paid through the nose, through the mouth, through a number of orifices.
Okay.
So I've rebuilt. So I have some savings, right, that are in banks that I am, finding out that no one tells me when promotion's over and I've got $25,000 sitting in a 0.03% interest. When they say they're going to call. So I pulled money out of there and put it in a new bank, and now CDs, whatever. But not only is the problem that you're talking about, then you worry about hacking and all that. That's another story. So you're saying that if I want to be safe, to put it in something that is as traditional and as old as gold, as
one option,
something that you cannot change that. You can't reset gold. You cannot reset, right?
Well, if gold resets, and it's been doing that for the last year.
You can reset.
The spot price every day. The gold market's never closed.
Okay.
So spot market on gold is always changing, never closes. Not like the stock market.
Okay.
It's not that the gold is appreciating so much. It's just pegging its value. So the same ounce of gold today pays for the same amount of stuff as an ounce of gold would have paid for back in 1930, right?
Okay.
Today it's about $2,100 an ounce, give or take the hour. That $2,100, what does it buy you? A suit, some lunch, depending on where you live. Not a lot here in California.
Right.
I'm from Arizona, so
Right.
a night stay in a hotel room, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it did when it was at 30. $3 an ounce back then
Okay.
for somebody at that time.
Okay. So the cost of inflation and all of it is
Value.
about the value is about
Value.
the same. Okay.
So the main thing is if you're great at what you do, right?
Thank you.
So we're talking about your situation. You're great at what you do. You got knocked down once with a divorce and you rebuilt.
Yeah.
If that happened again, or if something negative happened again, do you have the time to rebuild again?
Well, I don't have a choice. I will always rebuild and I will never retire because I love what I do. So,
The second question is, would you like to do that or keep what you have?
oh, I'd like to keep what I have.
There we go. So then we have, and we're certified tax advisors.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's one thing that makes our company different.
Okay.
Is we're also going to look at your tax structure for where you are
Mhm.
and what you're doing. Make sure if you need a C corporation or an S corporation or just an LLC,
Mhm.
make sure it's all wrapped up within a trust so that it's all protected legally for you as much as possible to mitigate your tax problems.
Okay.
Because the worst case scenario is, and everybody says, the biggest bill you have is your tax.
Right. Right.
So what if you could do all of this investing through your Roth IRA
That's even better.
and not pay taxes on the growth?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So those are the things that we want to talk about. We want to make sure that it fits you. And if it does fit you, great. If it doesn't fit you and it's not where you need to be, I'll be the first guy to tell you.
Okay.
Because it doesn't do you any good or me any good. But I've had more people come from my consultations and say, it's not for me, but here's my uncle and my aunt that you really need to talk to. You really need to talk to them.
That's
Okay,
great.
great.
That's a compliment to you.
Well, it's just doing the best that we can and being a protector.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My heart is protecting people, protecting my family, protecting my church, doing those things. And so 3 years ago, I've only been doing this 3 years. My partner here, he's been doing it forever. And he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, I think it's time for you to come work with me. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, look around, check out the clues. And I said, okay. And I would love to be selling spot Bitcoin ETFs right now because they're blowing up. The guys that are selling those are making tons of money. BlackRock that's something nobody's talking about. BlackRock put out the very first spot Bitcoin ETF this year, got approved January 10th. They're already selling at the largest influx of capital into the derivative market ever. This is an everything bubble.
Foreign. This is like such a foreign language, but go ahead.
Well, derivatives are bets.
Okay.
Right? If you ever seen the movie The Big Short?
Yes.
Okay, that's exactly what it is. They were doing derivatives and bets on what the mortgage-backed securities were doing.
Yeah, it's like the don't come on the craps line.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
that I understand.
Well, so it goes both ways. You can bet for it or bet against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what we didn't realize back then, and that documentary tells you,
Yeah.
and it never came into my mind, was the idea that all these banks and these financial institutions were doing these transactions, taking all of this money, and in reality, they never thought that they'd ever get paid back. And I don't mean that a mortgage was purchased and then 5 years down the line you refinance it.
Right.
I mean, they were doing loans with no income, no asset.
Right.
Just a credit score and 100% financing, 80-20, all kinds of craziness.
Right.
And adjustable rates and boom.
Yeah.
Well, today's market in housing,
again.
It's people don't see it. Well, talk about the people that in Arizona. I just had a cousin that bought a house. His mortgage payment, his rent payment used to be $1,500 a month. Landlord came to him and said, well, we're raising it to 200 or 2,000, excuse me. He said, well, if I'm gonna pay 2,000, I'm gonna go buy a house.
Right.
And he'd been renting for 10 years. Went to buy a house. Now his payment, when they quoted him and he went to look at it, was like $3,000 before taxes and insurance. Okay, an extra 1,000, but it's ours. A lot of people think that.
Right.
Great, we're going to do that. They do that. They get their financing, they go, they buy it, and then they've got to qualify for a solar payment that almost broke their deal, right? So they've got to finance a 10-year-old solar payment at today's rates at 6%, 7% when they did it, add another $300 to their monthly payment. So now they're at $3,300 before taxes and insurance.
So
Taxes and insurance, come on, now it's at $3,700. What they didn't know then was that the insurance market is going to go through the roof.
Mm.
And I don't know if you've seen your insurance bills lately, but mine have almost doubled.
Mm. A
Homeowners
car
insurance,
or home
car insurance,
Okay.
all insurance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now instead of 3,700, by the end of this year, it'll be 3,900.
Mm.
So these people doubled their payment,
Yeah. More than double.
more than doubled,
Yeah.
but their wages didn't go up.
Yeah, that's horrible. And I'm really glad you used that example because one of the things by saving was to look at possibly investing. And you just gave me
Yes.
the answer.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's not that any investment is bad.
Right.
You've got to look at the investment
Yeah.
itself, and it's got to make sense.
Yeah.
And so we have a network of people that we introduce you to, and being here at Secret Knock, we've even got more
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can help you with the real estate needs, with your commercial needs, with whatever needs you need. But once you get the great thing about our protection is you get peace financially because you know that part of your portfolio, the bedrock, the foundation, that part's done.
Safe. Right.
Now, and I liken it to, I tell this story all the time. I like going to Vegas and I like playing craps. I think it's fun.
Oh, really?
I love it.
I love
I love
that. That's my favorite.
That's
game.
my favorite. And I like it because you can win whether you're rolling or somebody else.
Correct.
Now-
I'm a horrible roller.
This first happened to me when we were younger. We were in late 20s. My wife was there. We were doing our thing and I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm winning. I'm rolling. It's going great. And I'm the kind of guy that keeps pressing.
Yeah.
It's not my money.
Yeah.
I put $300 on the table and I'm at $5,000. It's great.
Yeah.
So as I'm winning, my wife's going, whoa. And $5,000 turns into 10.
Right.
And 10 turns into 20.
Take it.
And that's what she's telling me.
Yeah.
Do you think she goes, let's
Take
go.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know what we could do?
Yeah.
So she's smart and she just starts taking chips off the table and
Oh.
putting them in my pocket.
Okay. Did
Taking
you
chips
watch
off
her
the
do it?
No, I didn't even know she was doing
Okay.
it. The big boss actually looked at her and she goes, that's my husband.
Okay.
This is what I'm doing. He goes,
Yeah. Okay.
So she keeps doing it. Well, I started with 300. I got up to 22,000 and then I lost it all. And I was so angry.
I bet you were.
We go to dinner and my wife says, well, check your pockets. There's $2,200 in my pocket.
You,
So I'm
God
like
bless you,
1,900 up.
Right.
I didn't
No
do that,
thanks to you.
but somebody
Yeah,
was
yeah,
looking
yeah.
out for me.
Yeah. That's
And
what you
that's what we're trying. Get your crypto. I love crypto.
really.
Crypto's like gambling. If you
Okay.
can buy it at 11 and it goes up to 68 where it is right now.
I lost $200. I bought it because
Well,
I don't have the time to watch it. That's part of the problem.
so that's every investment.
Yeah.
Every investment, doesn't matter what it is, you got to
Yeah.
watch it, you got to manage it.
Yeah.
And so the thing about crypto that I love is like, yes, there was a guy here at Secret Knock that was like, I have $12 million in crypto. They did the calculations. And Dr. Greg Reid said, not bad. And he goes, oh no, it's 12 million times 12. And he gave him a fist bump because this guy's like a miner, like a crypto miner. This is a scientific guy, all in on crypto. Great. So 12 million times 12, whatever, 144 million roughly, if I remember the numbers correctly.
Yeah.
Well, that's all on paper, unless you sell some of it.
Right.
So what's wrong with selling half and keep pressing the other half?
Yeah.
You only make $60 million this year, and you lock it in, right? And don't get me wrong, gold is not the only answer.
Okay.
Any non-digital asset. Why do you think all these billionaires, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, George, they're all buying farmland? There's a reason they're doing that. Because that land is where they're parking their cash. And they're going to use it and they're going to do business with it.
Right.
But they're putting it out of dollars.
So they're changing the dollars into
Currency.
Okay.
Dollars are losing value.
Yeah.
Land won't lose the value. Houses might lose value if the bubble bursts again. But the land won't. The dirt is the dirt. And so, and my personal thing is I'm trying to save enough to where if something happens and I do need to buy another house and the housing market happens in 2008, well, guess what? In 2008, you could pick up houses in Phoenix for $30,000 or $70,000. And there were investors jumping all over.
Waiting to do that.
Right.
That's the silver lining.
We learned.
Right.
And you said everybody saw it. If they're one of our brokers is 32, expecting his first child. In 2008, he was 11 years old. If I did the math right. So anybody would have had to have been roughly 21 years old and remembered that.
Yeah. Yeah. But
By
we
that
don't
time.
remember.
And so, well, and everybody that's coming up, all these young people that are amazing here,
Yeah.
that are doing all of these awesome apps, like the Ideal app and things.
Right.
They don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not, they've got 30, 40 years to make it up.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want to do it now. I've got 3 boys. I need to make sure that everything's taken care of.
Right.
And 2008 hurt. It hurt a lot.
Yeah.
To me
Yeah,
personally.
me too.
So
I got the last check out of New Century Financial. I was
Oh, wow.
consulting with them.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Because I was doing org site change management.
Yeah.
So, but I was very lucky because I got the last check right before it went down.
Right.
So after that, nobody got their check. So my timing is good.
Well, let's talk about timing now. I want to make sure that this message gets out there because it's not doom and gloom.
Yeah.
The sky is not falling.
Did you hear
It's
that?
not.
The sky
Sky's not falling. I'm not shaking little. I'm not trying to scare you.
Yeah.
What I'm trying, there was a man here, they call him the futurist. I talked to him personally on the side.
Yeah.
Scared the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, we should do a podcast. He goes, nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
But that's not it. If I know that the sky's not falling, and if I know that even through the Great Depression, people survived.
Mhm.
Some people died.
Mhm.
Some people survived.
Mhm.
They barely got through. Some people did okay, and other people just ridiculously thrived. Choose who you want to be. See the clues, the patterns, and the choices, and go. And that's how we approach the business, because all we can do is have a great conversation with you, and you can either choose to believe us or not.
Yeah.
And even if you believe us, you can choose to work with us or not.
Yeah.
But give us a call. Let us know how we can help you, and we'll run you through the gauntlet. We'll let you know as nicely as it can. Normally, our first conversation, 10, 15 minutes of, is this right for you? Let's talk about your portfolio. Let's talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is it right for you?
Yeah.
Great. If the answer is yes, now let's talk about how we do it, structure, and what to buy. Because when you say gold, I'm going to buy gold, everybody thinks of the same thing.
Right.
But what's the image
When
that
I
pops in your
said
head?
scroll blocks.
Right?
Yeah.
Bricks, the Italian job, screws,
Yeah.
all this craziness.
Yeah.
Well, it really is like saying car. Buy a car.
Right.
Well, there's a difference between a Honda Civic and a Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce costs $400,000 on the easy end.
Yeah.
Honda Civic's 30 grand.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just trading velocity, more people out there to buy it. What's right for you?
Yeah.
And we walk you, because there's some things you really shouldn't buy. Unless, like,
So I'm going to put the moose on the table. Why would you, this is the thing that I always am suspicious of. When people are on YouTube and say, you could live in this, and all you have to do is follow this, and this. It's like, if you have this much money, and if you know what it's doing for you, why would you want to share that secret or that way with other people? Like, what's in it for you?
For me, it lets me do something that I know I can do with integrity. It lets me do something that, like, when I did mortgages, and when I was doing mortgages, I believed in it. I believed in it so much, I took an option on my property.
Right.
And so I had no idea. I'm 30 years old. I'm thinking, this is great. I'm helping people get into houses. I loved it.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, after 2008, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was
It was like not what I thought it was.
Right.
And so I don't want to keep perpetuating it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
get bigger, stronger, better. Kaizen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so as I'm looking into it, when my friend told me, our owner of the company, Aaron Haley, I've known him since I was in 4th grade. And he doesn't steer me wrong. Great guy, solid guy. And in this business, you got to find somebody you can trust.
Yes. Well, that was the bottom line of my question is, there's so many people telling you what to do. So many people saying, I'm going to help you. I had a woman say to me, I want to help you and I don't want to charge you anything. And then I ended up having to fork out thousands just to get out of the contract.
Yeah.
So I guess, the answer is you just don't know, right? You just don't know. I can tell you that I just met this man and he's convinced me I'm going to be booking a consultation at the very least, because I don't want to make the same mistakes. I do like your tax thing. I think that people don't understand that we're not taught, and this is all part of financial literacy, we're not taught the best things to do with our money.
Absolutely.
Right. So all of that. Well, I really have had a lot. I love learning new things. And I can say that I have learned so much from you, and thank you for that.
You are so welcome.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you for the opportunity.
Of course. He was so cute. He was like, he would say it to what you said to me.
Oh, I said, you're so normal. It's so amazing. Because when I first got here, I saw you walk around like, she's so normal. And here at Secret Knock, people are elevated. I mean, there's a lot of business movers and shakers. And I saw this nice lady. I said, great. And then they announced her as the Asian Oprah. And I was like, whoa, that's the same lady I've seen on YouTube? I got to go talk to her. And so I was like, please. And then I saw your, I was like, oh man, I can't believe I get her all to myself. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And the last question I usually ask on the show is, to who or what are you most grateful?
God. All day. Everything I have comes from him. Everything I'm ever going to do is turn back to him. And that's all I can do.
Yay. And he wrote, he's a remarkable sheepdog. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That came from Mr. Fenster today.
Okay.
Remarkable does not mean perfect.
Yeah.
It just means you're going to keep everything you can, and the sheepdog's a protector.
Well, there you have it. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. If you would do this with me, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best. Oh, how do they get in touch with you?
Smartgold.com, or they can call my phone number, 602-545-9238.
And I have that. You can always message me and I'll give that to you. All right. Have
Bye.
the
Thank you.
best day ever. I don't know if you can hear that part, just the after part, but that was a fabulous interview with Freddie. You can tell it is really difficult to know what to do with, with your money. You don't want to lose it. If you've had a couple of bad experiences, it's really hard to trust people. And I just don't know, but it is true that if you don't do something with it, and if you just let it, I don't know, so many people, if you want to hear a great interview I had with Janine Roth, was Oprah's diet coach. She's great with emotional eating and stuff like that. She lost $10 million to Bernie Madoff. Madoff with $10 million. So, I wanted to bring you Freddie because he is a voice that is giving us some background and some education around the money system. I would encourage you to do research, to look for it. It is part of mental health. It is Mental Health Mondays, and certainly finance is one of those areas that, we kind of trust people, but it is something that look for the experts, look for people with a great track record. And certainly I'm talking to Freddie. And if you're so inclined, I'm going to put his phone number in the chat again for you. I want to show you Dr. Marissa reporting live. One of the things that I got to do this weekend was the wonderful AAMDS March for Marrow. I'll just play this little bit from. Let's see if we can.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
And here is the first winner. He was actually in the Boston Marathon.
there for aplastic anemia patients, and so the AAMDS organization was a real lifeline for me.
And you're here because you're supporting my brother-in-law. He unfortunately just passed away a few weeks ago. So we're here honoring him today. Beautiful. What is his name? Kyle Nathaniel Lopez. Thank you so much. My father actually passed of lymphoma and did not have this kind of resource. So I do this also for my dad, who is up there and loving us from there. So
Recording live in Shoreline Village with AAMDS March from Marrow 2024. Fabulous, beautiful people. It's all about balance. Peace in. Peace out. Peace out. World peace. World peace. Through inner peace. Through inner peace. Now go and support AAMDS. Yeah!
Such a wonderful day. Let's do this one now if we have time quickly. Let's see, stop sharing that. And I'm going to go to a video that is of the interview of that gentleman who sharing, having problems, cancel, maybe not. But the guy that I said he was in the Boston Marathon. Let's try this. See if this will work. Nope. All right. Well, go to my YouTube channel. He is an amazing guy who had blood disease a year ago, and he actually.
Oprah, and I'm
there
here
we go.
reporting live at the March for Marrow 2004 AAMDS fundraiser, and I have the winner and second place, and they happen to be related. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to them. What is your name? Oh, I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. So when you call me, it says, "Who are you and what do you want?" So, are you ready? Who are you and what do you want?
I'm Matt Marrow, and this is Ted.
Hi, I'm Ted. And you are actually a patient. Go ahead and explain that, and I'm just amazed.
I am. I found out about AAMDS which is the organization that puts on this great event, in November after getting a tough diagnosis after a bone marrow biopsy. And there's not a lot of good information out there for aplastic anemia patients. And so the AAMDS organization was a real lifeline for me. And since then, I've been very good. My blood levels are stable. And so it doesn't keep me from running into these kinds of events, which is great.
And the Boston Marathon, he also just ran. So how is son feeling about all of this?
Well, I'm happy that my dad did drawings with the bone marrow, and he did great on the first place.
Yes, he did do great on the first place. What do you say to people out there who are not feeling well or have some kind of blood disease or any kind of disease? What is the key to healing?
Staying positive, letting others help you, and putting your trust in your doctors, and being patient. But really positivity and really listening to your doctors, I think is the key.
Fantastic. If you would do this with me now, I sign off of every show. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa, always trying to balance out the bad news out there with good news and good people.
And that's it for today's show. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. Lots of stuff that we covered. I'm going to put in the chat. We're going to stay on after we sign off on the NBC radio station. But I wanted to show you this overlay here, the Health and Wellness Festival. The information's in the chat on how to get there. It's all about balance. I'll see you, Dr. Marissa reporting live from Canada. In the meantime, have the best day ever.